Making a junk journal is a fabulous creative process. From cover to signature and decoration, it brings us hours of joy. And the easier this process is, the more likely you and I are to have a go at making one. So in this week's video, I'm following up on requests from you to show you how I make my 5-petal flowers, and we're going to do it in 3 simple steps. I'll share lots of examples along the way, and stick around to the end because I've got 7 quick tips for getting the most out of this technique. I really hope this inspires your own paper passion, your own creativity. So if, like me, you have that passion for paper and you love junk and art journals, then hit the subscribe button, ring the little notification bell, and come back next week because I have got lots more videos and ideas to come. These flowers will work for you in many different ways, and I've just got a couple of examples here of how I've used them in a journal. So this is just a counterbalance with some matching scrapbook paper to the main page, the main feature of this spread in a junk journal. But you could also use them in your tags. So maybe have a think about decorating a handmade tag with 1 or 2 layers of flower. And I've also been adding them to the front of some pockets that I've made out of some old book pages. So all I've done here is give the pocket a little bit of an easier access here with a serrated set of scissors, and then I've added 3 little layers of flower petals onto the front. And what makes this technique particularly useful is 2 things. Number 1, you get a flower with an odd number of petals, and for some reason that seems to be particularly attractive to the eye. It's also an incredibly simple method because all you need is a pair of good strong scissors and some squared pieces of paper. So I've got a few examples of the kind of pieces of paper that will work for this. So I have painted papers, scrap paper, all sorts of crayon and paint and glitter has gone onto the front of these, and I've got a set of various old book pages. So I've got some vintagey style grungy paper here. I've got some more actually thinner and whiter pages here that I've cut up. I think that was from a thesaurus, and I've got some thicker paper at the back that I've been scribbling on in a couple of colours on each square. I've also got just a couple of examples of scrapbook paper here that could be used. So think about using your pretty little pieces that are left over of scrapbook paper. This one is probably the smallest one I'd go down to. So this is about 5 centimetres square, so that's 2 inches square roughly. And this one I had a go at making a small flower, and that's about as small as I'd go because we're going to fold this piece of paper a couple of times and that will make it thicker and harder to cut. So really simple. Step 1, you need a good strong pair of scissors and you need some squared pieces of paper. Step number 2, let's just make a flower. I'll do this a couple of times to make it easy, and I'll talk through the steps in as much clarity as I possibly can. So take your squared piece of paper, and it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, and fold it in half and just press along the middle to make it a nice crease. Then we're going to take this bottom right hand corner and we're going to point it at the other side of the rectangle that we created, and the point is going to be at 1/3 of the distance along from the top on this side. So we take this little rectangle, we bring this little point from the bottom right and we position it 1/3 of the way down along this side, and then just use your fingers and your nail to crease along there as well. The more you crease at this stage, the easier it will be to do the subsequent folds. Then we're going to fold it inside on itself. So pull that up, bring it down so that the edge here sits absolutely flush on top of the previous edge that you had created. And then we're going to turn it over, and we're going to lift up this little flap and we're going to fold it back on itself. And now you've got a rather strange cone shaped little item. We take our scissors and we're going to cut the petals, And if you can see this line, the edge of the top sheet, we're going to cut within it, so beneath that line, so that everything is the same size and shape underneath. So let me just cut one and let's see what happens. I'm doing just a small arc, nothing interesting. Let's open it up and see what we get. A really small arc. I've got the essence of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals, and it's okay, but it's not particularly interesting. So let's try doing it again with a little bit more of an interesting cut. I'll leave that one there so we can see it. We take our squared piece of paper and we fold it in half, and we just press down to create a little crease. We take this bottom right hand corner and we bring it up and position it so that it is sitting at a third of the way down of this edge. So crease along there with your nail, and then we're going to take this side up and fold it in so that it sits on top of the line that you created. Then we'll turn it over, and we want to fold this little spare flap over here onto the back, and now we have our little funny shaped cone. Let's do a cut. I'm going to cut this time further down this far side, and we'll just see what happens with the petal that comes out. So I'm opening that up, and this time, because I cut further down on that second edge, I get a much more interesting petal pattern, and that's a bit more like this one that I created before. So you do have a choice in the variety of types of flower and petal that you create. Should we do one more? Let's have a go with this little cute piece of rusty dotty paper. So this is the small one. So I'm going to fold it in half, make a crease. I'm going to take this bottom right hand corner and I'm going to bring it up so that it is just nudging on the edge of this far side, and I want this point to be in a position where a third of the space of the edge is here and 2/3 is there. Then I want to fold up this side, and you can see with thicker paper it's harder to fold already. Press that down neatly, turn it over, and we're going to do something with this little flap. Bring that up and press it down. And now I'm just going to cut round here, down the side a little further so it's not symmetrical, down that side, and let's see what we get as a flower. So it really is incredibly simple, and it's the sort of thing that you can do sitting on a sofa in the evening with a nice hot drink in the cold weather and create a whole load of different ones for use in your projects. So here we are, 5-petal flower. And step 3 in this process is all about having fun, how you vary using these paper flowers in your projects. So I've just got 7 quick tips and ideas to share with you to make the most of these 5-petal flowers. First of all, when you're using scrapbook paper, choose a pattern that is small enough and dainty enough to work with the size of flower that you're going to create. So in this little one, the pattern was fairly small, so we've got quite a number of dots, small dots in the area, and indeed on this one, a slightly larger flower, the stripes are still relatively close together. If you're going to do a small flower, have a pattern that's small enough to fit within that flower, and if you're using scrap paper, it's still true. So on this one I was using old matte paper, and because the design has got small font and dainty dotted lines, it works really well on a small flower. So tip number 1 is think about the pattern or the writing or whatever it is that's on the page in the context of the size of flower that you're going to cut out, or obviously the size of squares that you're going to create and then put into making flowers. My second tip is all about layering the flowers. So to get the best out of these, you probably want to create quite a few different sizes and maybe have a tub of them to hand, and then mix and match them, bring them together so that you get the most impact by layering, maybe using some similar tones of colour. So on this one, I've just added a second little layer to it to make it really pop, which matches the little piece of scrap paper behind, and then on this pocket where I've chosen a flower that I'd already cut out using similar colour tones, I'm going to add one on top just to really bring that out. So tip number 2 is all about layering, and indeed when you layer I would also add another tip, which is make the centre of the flower have a focus point. So you could put glitter glue on it, as I have here, or with some card examples I thought I'd share. I've got a little sequin on this one, I've got a little bead on the centre of this one, and another bead on the centre of this one. I've got a sequin on the centre of this one, and it really does seem to add that little final touch when you're layering your flowers. So that's another tip, layer and also give them a centre point. My third suggestion would be, when you're using old book pages, really do give yourself some choice by pulling pages from different books so that you get a mixture and therefore a contrast of fonts and textures. So great excuse as well for using old book pages and then maybe putting paint on them or some old scrap papers so that you get that variety, contrast of colour. I've got glitter glue on some of these. So get creative with your supplies, but definitely use those old book pages. Another suggestion would be to think about stamping on top of the flower when you've cut it out, or indeed you could do it before. So what I like to do is use this pretty old acrylic text stamp, and I actually inked this and pressed the flower down into it to have control of the piece of paper, rather easier for me than stamping the other way. But add some text to your flowers, and again it adds a bit more contrast and interest for the eye. And my last little suggestion is just to have a lot of these little squared pieces of paper handy, whether it's on your craft desk or sitting next to you when you're on the sofa, so that you can pick up your scissors and just fold and cut and create lots of lovely, beautiful little paper flowers. And you'll find that in no time you have a huge variety of really easy, colourful and impactful and pretty embellishments to add to your junk journal, your art journal projects, to your tags, to your pockets, and maybe to your cards. I hope that's been a useful walkthrough of my 3-step approach to making 5-petal flowers. If you've enjoyed it, then please do hit that subscribe button, ding the little notification bell, and come back next week when we can have more fun playing with our junk journals. Bye!